So this is just going to be a quick video, talking video. If you're a giving type person, this is fixing to be your opportunity to be able to give to somebody to help them out or whatever like that. And you don't have to give. You can give by way of prayer, thoughts, and all that kind of stuff like that. Because I understand, everybody can't give or whatever. We're going to talk about this, but so the other day, I think it was either Thursday morning or yesterday morning, I seen a post that Vernon Miller made. Vernon is the one that I work with on the Eastern Loggers. He's real big into that group and does the calendars for them every year. And he made a post about Peter Gilberti. I know him as Pete. He's also known as Nuts319 on YouTube. Peter lives up in Coropolis, Pennsylvania, is where he's at. And I've had the opportunity to meet Pete, been to dinner with him, and up there at the not the Eastern Log, but the Paul Bunyan show at the Eastern Loggers tent that they had up there at the Paul Bunyan show. Pete is like I am. He's a giver. He's a hard worker. And Pete got hurt really, really bad the other day in a logging accident. He's a logger, just like I've been all my life. And what kind of the story, I talked to Vernon today, probably about an hour and a half ago, I guess. He and I were on the phone communicating, make sure I had everything right. But I'm going to read right here. But basically, in a nutshell, Pete was cutting a tree down, and there was evidently a vine hung up in the top of a tree that was probably behind him or something, or beside it. And when the tree he cut fell, it pulled the other tree over, either broke it or pulled it or something. And that's really, really common for that stuff to happen. And, things happen. We all run work. And the thing about it is, the biggest thing I want you to take from this is every one of our worlds, none of us are immune from it, can be turned upside down just like that in a blink of an eye. So anyhow, the tree fell on Pete and it messed him up pretty bad. And so this is Vernon's, what he posted about it that came straight from, it came straight from Lauren. And this is what he said. It's talking about this is going to be on Wednesday evening. Yesterday's CT scans showed he has 4 broken ribs on one side and 5 on the other. 2 of his lateral bones in the spine are broken. All the bones in the lower back are broken in some way, shape, form, and will require surgery. There's blood in his abdomen. They believe is from the kidney that they are keeping an eye on, and blood in his chest cavity, likely from the broken ribs. They are keeping an eye on that as well. He is responsive and stable. He was following proper toe and finger prompts, writing a few notes. He's on a vent, which obstructs talking. He is pretty sedated. They did surgery last evening around 6. And another that started about an hour ago. And so then I'll fast forward to, this will be yesterday, Lauren's update. They put pins in to connect L2, 3, 4, and 5. That's the back. And they put the bone together on either side of them to fuse them together. He was very optimistic about the way the surgery went. And then this is a little over an hour ago after me and Vernon got off the phone. This morning, he is talking a lot and has a very positive attitude. He is feeling the support and prayers. He has a long way to go, but this is awesome news. All right, so they do have a GoFundMe set up. I'll link it down below. I got on it last night. I've never done anything through GoFundMe, and I clicked on it, and I was kind of surprised at the amount. When I put an amount in of what I was going to send, and we'll go through that, I was kind of surprised about the amount that GoFundMe wanted in their part for the transaction. So I'm also going and I backed out of it. I'm down below. I'm going to include a mailing address. It's a P.O. box, and I'll put Lauren. Lauren is his girlfriend. I enjoy seeing their post. I like, they're really good together. And so I can only imagine how much her world has been flipped upside down by all this. So I say that to say this: if you would rather mail something to them, I'll include his name, her name down there. Probably better to put it in her name with him being in the shape that he's in right now. The big problem is the time it's going to take for this to heal. So Pete, just like me, worked by himself, and he was by himself when this happened, and I do the same thing. I work by myself all the time. I enjoy it. Is it dangerous? Sure, it's very dangerous, because if something happens, you're on your own, you know. But Pete, before he went into shock, what Vernon said, was able to dial 911 and was able to kind of tell them a little bit, got them close enough to first responders to where they ran across somebody else who was able to kind of get them in, that knew where Pete was working at, and was able to get them in there to where he was. And then they had to airlift him to get him to the hospital. My understanding is the hospital that he's in is about an hour and a half from where he lives. Maybe that's correct. Maybe I think that's what Vernon said. But anyhow, so that's the quick and fast of it. But so here's the thing, you know, a lot of people want to help, you know, right now, and then say 3 or 4 weeks on down the road, people will tend to forget about it. And that's when the help really needs to come. Because with Pete's like me, like Vernon's a cancer survivor, really good guy. And for me in 2013, I had to have neck surgery. And the worst thing that one of the worst things I was ever told or heard was that I couldn't do certain things. You know, I'm really active. I like working hard. And man, when the doctor told me that, you know, the only thing I could do was like pick up a glass of water or something like that, that I couldn't even pick up a jug of milk for X number of days. And that's the way that Pete's going to be. Time will heal, and he'll come on back around and everything. But those bunch of weeks while you're down and you're going through the physical therapy and all that stuff like that is tough for somebody who's really, really active, who normally works hard and all, like Pete. And Pete he's a giver, he's a provider. And so you're not used to, like I am, I'm not used to somebody giving back, and he's not going to be. And the problem with that is you got to be receptive of things, and you've got to be able to accept what people are willing to give, because the tides can be turned at any second. Because when you accept something from somebody else, or if you reject it, you're rejecting the blessing that they can receive later on down the road. And so I just wanted to put that out there. And, you know, Pete may watch this later on, but I just want Nutsy to know, well, some of us call him Nutsy to know that we all thinking about you, buddy, and we're thinking about Lauren, and you'll be back. It's going to take some time. The biggest thing that I can say is make sure and listen to the doctors and do what they tell, because they know what to do. I'm a testament of that you can come back and you can be even stronger. But evidently he took a pretty good whacking from that tree and is very blessed to still be with us, but not a normal video. And I hope some good comes from this. And like I said, I'll try to link everything down below. I'll put the address down there. You know, if all you can do is just send a note or something, that'll be very welcome, I'm sure, because, man, that stuff like that, those notes and what have you and things, they're very, very impactful, and they're good. They're good for the soul. They're good for the spirit. So appreciate y'all watching. I'm not sure how long this has been on. It's 10 minutes, but anyhow, y'all be good. We'll catch y'all later. Later, taters.